I've found that I'm the type of person that takes wild risks sometimes. Not necessarily for fun, no, but sometimes, usually because I just don't have an option. And I'm a very leap and the net will appear type of person in certain situations. I don't know if to say if this is a bad habit or a good habit. It's just a habit I have. And I usually do it with a lot of things, a lot of very big decisions actually. I wouldn't advise it or recommend it. But I usually do it out of necessity. I do it if I feel like this is something that I really want to do, or this is something that's really going to help me, or this is something that I really need to do. I'll just up and do it. Usually without much of a plan. Or even if I do have a plan, I might not have all the resources to execute it. But then I'll still start because I have found from experience or well from several trial and error things I've done or from certain mistakes I have made anyway, that most of the answers appear once you start. I just sometimes have this confidence that once I have begun or once I've given myself some momentum, I'm going to figure it out. All this I'm saying is basically related to me moving out because it's pretty much the same principle. I moved out of my parents' house without much of a plan. I did it because I knew that I had to do it. Like it was time for me to do it. So I took my gap semester to take care of myself and to make sure that I'm in a very good state of mind and being and all that before I go back to school and then get it done and over with. Being at home was kind of great for some time. Well, I was around family and that can be very healing and stuff. But I also plan to use the time that I had during this gap semester to also accomplish certain goals and then work on some personal projects and stuff that I couldn't really do while I had school on my hands. So being at home, I wasn't getting like enough space, that's physical space even, and even space of mind to do these things that I wanted to do and also just to be able to take care of myself. So I felt like, okay, then it's time for me to just get out of there and get my own space. While I wouldn't say it's necessarily good to isolate yourself when you're going through stuff, whether maybe you're depressed or just overwhelmed and stuff, sometimes it's also great to just be in your own space for some time because that can be healing as well. I felt like I needed to take this step to get better because I was very overwhelmed by like things that I was dealing with and also just by situations around me that weren't necessarily mine. So I felt like I needed to just separate myself from all of that. Heart with your tiring. Okay, I just like we just terrified. I need like some type of change, like a change of environment. I feel like I need to move to my own space, but I don't even know how. So scream your worries. I have no idea how to start. You will never find. Moving in Accra is insane, especially if you are going to stay alone, like moving out of your parents' house, moving from your parents' house. Typically in Accra, like because of the way the housing situation is, I guess it's convenient for a lot of people to just continue staying with their parents until maybe like they get a very sustainable job or something and then they move out. Finding a place was very difficult. First, I'm like, okay, so maybe I don't want to be in a house, maybe I want to be in a hostel. So then I started looking for student hostels, like in Accra, like Legon and thereabouts. But that didn't work out. And I was getting very discouraged because I felt like my time was running out. Because in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, I need to leave this place. I need to leave. I need to go. I need to be on my own. I need to be on my own. Then I started looking like on Twitter because people had started advertising, let's say, like rooms that they had in their houses and stuff. And I think it's really becoming a culture in Accra now for people to be house sharing, right? Yeah. Which I think is a very good thing. I started going to like these places to check out their places. I went to Mungwa, I went to Spintex or Sakumano, one of them. And the places were great, but then like the first one, somebody got it before I could, which is fine because I didn't really like the place. And then the second place, they just didn't agree to the terms that I had, because my terms were that I wanted to be there for 2 to 3 months, and not everybody really wants that, because if they're moving in with somebody, because of the way housing is in Ghana and leasing and stuff, you have to be there for at least 6 months. Even now, if you'll be very lucky to get that. You have to be there like at least a year. And me, I was going to be there for a short stay, and people don't really like short stay. Or in certain places that I found for short stay, they were just too expensive for me. I checked online, websites like Daira, Mikasa. I looked at all those places, still wasn't getting anywhere. And then I finally got this place, which is owned by a friend, so I'm house sharing with a couple of people. How I'm paying for this is crazy. I don't have a job. So then if I'm thinking of moving out and I'm talking to my parents about moving out, obviously the question comes, how am I going to be paying for it? Because if you are moving out, you're basically going to be taking care of yourself. That is paying rent, and then like taking care of utilities, and then buying things to settle in the place, food. I've been bootstrapping, which is pretty much how I do everything, like I said, about just, taking risks. I didn't really have a plan, but then my plan was that, like, when I start, I'll see. So then I started looking for the places and stuff. I still didn't know how I was going to get the money, but then how I typically make money from time to time is just through gigs, like writing and stuff. And then you would think that because of this situation, I would just try and get a job. But at the same time, I didn't want to settle for a job that would be inconvenient to me. Inconvenient and inflexible, where like I wouldn't have control over the hours that I had, and I wouldn't have enough time to also do the things I needed to do. I wouldn't have enough time to take care of myself, which was the main purpose of my gap semester. So I did have like options, or say offers for maybe this job to do and that job to do, but I had to reject them or just let them go, because they just weren't going to fit into the type of plan that I had for myself, and they just weren't convenient for me, and I didn't feel like I needed to settle for something that was going to be inconvenient for me just because I so badly needed money. So far, I have been taking care of myself with writing. The first time I was able to pay for my rent was through me writing for this magazine also that pays writers to write. Yeah, that's how I got some money to pay for my first rent, and also to like take care of basic necessities like buying food, having some money to move around, buying credits. Without a job, how I'm still trying to make money is like with doing gigs with people to be getting some small money. And well, recently I won a writing competition, so that also came with a cash prize. So I'm using some of that to pay my rent and also take care of myself. So it's been a lot of bootstrapping. Like, that's the word I'm using. I don't know if that's the right word to use, but it's not the wisest thing. I wouldn't advise anybody to do it, but it has worked for me. It was just like, I did it. I had to move like out of necessity. So in my mind, I'm like, whatever I'm going to do to try and make this work is going to work. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm just going to try and make it work. In my mind, I should just set my mind on doing this thing. Like, this is how I'm going to make the money, so I'm going to make it. So when I was submitting to the first magazine, I was like, this is how I'm going to pay my rent. Like, they had better give me the money. This is how I'm going to pay my rent. And then when the competition to myself, so I was like, this is how I'm going to take care of myself. And then I did it, and I had to go in with the mindset that I'm winning this thing or I'm getting this thing. And it's just been this go-getting mindset. But I also feel like I have been able to do that because of, make silly decisions like this, because it's not for a very long period of time. Like, I'll be going back to school soon, so I was only here for a couple of months. I can't afford to make decisions like that, like maybe when I'm done with school. So that's one thing I'm grateful for this period for, to be able to, try this thing, and if it doesn't work, I try something else. If it doesn't work, I try something else. If it doesn't work, I try something else. The first time I got here, I was broke. Like, I just carried my things. My dad brought me. I carried my clothes and stuff, and I brought them here. But I was happy. I was broke, but I was happy because I had my own space here, this square bedroom, just to be in and be at peace with nobody in my space, just to be able to lie down and think and sleep. That alone was like, it was beyond anything for me. The first few days I got here, I had a little bit of money, so I used that money to shop for a few things I needed, like scrubbing brush and things around the room, without really regarding the fact that, okay, I'm feeding myself now, so I need to buy groceries. My money ran out before I had enough groceries. So for the first couple of days, I was actually really starving, but my parents brought me rice. The great thing is my parents have been very supportive of this whole thing, and I'm so grateful to have them in my life. They were very understanding. In the beginning, because it wasn't something that we really expected, it wasn't so smooth. But then obviously they understood the situation I was in. They understood me saying that I felt like I needed my own personal space, just for my peace of mind, also be able to fully focus on, things that I need to do, just be able to think clearly and just be able to separate myself from like family and stuff for some time. Because of them, like, I trust my instinct a lot. And it's probably a good thing all the time just be doing things based on off of instinct alone. But it's something that has worked for me sometimes. So yeah, I'm very grateful for their support and their love and stuff. Yeah, my mom comes around sometimes. I feel like living apart from your parents for some time actually strengthens your relationship with them. I don't really know how to explain it. I don't know the reason why, but it does.
Full time, you talk your money up while it's living in a coal mine. It's all time to call your mine. Hey, mine, hey, mine. It's all what you know, you mope it up. Well, you wanted it your whole life. You're back and
So far, it's been good. It's been fun. I think most of the time I'm just here in my room alone, either just being lazy or trying to do some work, like writing, working on YouTube, applying to things I need to apply for. I keep having to apply for grants and stuff because I need to finally to take care of myself. So yeah, applying for stuff, doing interviews sometimes when I need to. Sometimes I can have people over, and the people I'm sharing the house with are very great. It's very nice to be in this space. Like, I already knew them before, so I was very fortunate to like move into a space where I already knew the people, so I feel very safe. It hasn't always been rosy. Like right now, I'm running out of food, but I'm going to get food soon. Even though it can be a little tough sometimes because now I have to be thinking about like taking care of everything on my own. Like, I'm not a child anymore. It's nothing beats peace of mind, right? So I'm broke sometimes, but I'm happy. And that's what's the most important thing. The good thing is I have a job now. Yeah, like I said before, I didn't want to settle for a job that like wasn't going to be good for me, despite the fact that I will be paying a lot of money. But then now I have a good internship which fits just right into like my plans. The hours are great. It is something that I like. It's all literary and writing stuff, so that's something that's right up my alley. I can also balance it with school because it's kind of part-time and it's for students anyway, so that's good. So I do now have a means or a sustainable means to take care of myself. At the beginning of like this whole decision and stuff, I didn't think that this was going to come, but it did, which was part of my plan. My plan was to, wait and see if something is going to come up. And it did. It's been a very great experience for me. Things are really going well now, and I'm so grateful. Like, I have my own personal space to be in, to be happy in when I'm happy, to be sad in when I'm sad, to take care of myself when I need to do my work. And I'm very happy at this moment. It was a slightly wild decision that I made, but then I realized that it was a good decision that I made, and I'm happy about it. So yeah.